Everybody, Happy New Year. Sorry I've been a little MIA, but I have been reading and resting and enjoying going back to work and having some time to kind of recoup and enjoy myself with the books that I'm reading before we get going with the Maverick list again. So, over the break, I read this amazing book. So, if you have been following me for a while, or if you don't, then here's a recap. My friend Karina, aka Q the Librarian, and I have a holiday tradition where we read a holiday themed book and we fangirl over it. We love it. We tweet the author and we just love on a book for the holidays. And it's usually a good hearted, like holiday read. And so this year, our book was a little different than what we normally have. It's a ghost story. And it's about someone that we normally wouldn't read about. So it's about this girl who is kind of a mean girl. We probably would not have liked her had this been like a real life book or a realistic fiction book. And she's dead. So the main character's name is Holly, and she's dead. She died the day after Christmas, and she is a brat, like in every sense of the word. She is the kids that we are trying to make better. She's entitled, she's rich, she's spoiled, she's just a big brat. And when she was alive, she was kind of an awful person. And so now that she's dead, she has a chance to redeem herself. And in the process of doing so, she becomes part of a Christmas Carol. So the book is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. It is part of the Scholastic Book Fairs. If you do Scholastic Book Fairs, it's part of the YA. It's really cool because the headline up here says every Scrooge deserves a second chance. So in the story, every year the Christmas Carol is continuing, and there's a company who picks a person every year who's just kind of a douche, and they are the Scrooge of the year. And then they find the people in their lives who would be the parts that are in A Christmas Carol. So they find your Marley, they find the person who would push you to be better, they find the person that you kind of pick on, they find the people that would kind of embody the roles of A Christmas Carol. And in this book, all of the ghosts of Christmas past is Holly, the ghost of Christmas future, and then there's the ghost of Christmas present. They are all people who are dead and who have gotten a second chance for whatever reason. Ghost of Christmas past is usually someone who, in this case, it's Holly, and she's not the greatest person. So because her mission failed, so when she was a Scrooge, it failed. And she did not redeem herself. She did not make herself better. She didn't save herself in the end. So she died. And after she died, kind of her punishment is to now be the ghost of Christmas past. And as the ghost of Christmas past, her job is to look into the past of the person who is the Scrooge that they are helping and find the people that would play the parts of A Christmas Carol. And so this year, their Scrooge is a boy, and the boy is cute, and Holly is like, ooh, she is all about it. And so when she's learning more about him, she starts to kind of fall for him. But the catch is that Holly's dead and the boy is alive. And his name is Ethan. And so Ethan is alive. Ethan is kind of not as Scroogey as they make him out to be. And Holly starts noticing these things, and she's like, he doesn't deserve to die, and we shouldn't force something to happen to him if he's not a total Scrooge. And so as the story goes on, Holly digs more and more into Ethan's life and eventually meets him in person. And all the while, she has to hide her secret that she's dead, one, and that she has been kind of sent to help him redeem himself. And so it's this really cool story of how she has to maintain this balance and find the line. And at one point she crosses the line and you're like, I know, why would you do this? But it is what it is. It's a really good romance. And in the end, someone redeems themselves, and it's great. It's really fun because Holly's assistant as the ghost of Christmas past is named Stephanie. And the whole time, Stephanie's just trying so hard to do the right thing and to help Holly. And it was really funny to read my name over and over and over. And I was finally like, This girl's nothing like me. I wouldn't do any of that. But it's really cool to see how all of the stories kind of intertwine. It was one of those where everything intertwines in the end. So we loved it. Karina and I loved it. It was a really fun book. I think my students would enjoy it as well. I have not introduced it to them yet because it's after Christmas now, but pretty soon I'm going to start just kind of pushing other books on them, even though it's not the holidays anymore, just to kind of keep the happiness going and keep them reading things that they wouldn't normally read. And I really like this because it's a ghost story, but it's not a scary story. So for my kids who want to read those ghost stories, or they want to read something that's kind of sci-fi, I think this is just enough to get them in. But it's also awesome because I have never read the Charles Dickens A Christmas Carol. I am one of those librarians that I've never read I'm not going to say never, but I didn't read a lot of the classics because I don't have time to sit there and read through the whole thing. And I think this is a great substitute for your students who either want a modern take on a classic tale, or maybe they want to read different versions, or even if your English classes just want to try something new. This was a really, really fun book. I finished it in a few days. It's so great. And I think it would be great even after the holidays because you don't have to really focus on, there's not a lot talking about like the holidays and Christmas. It's more about being a better person and redeeming yourself. And again, knowing the line between where you can cross something and where you can't, and just being better. So it was a really, really fun. I hope that y'all enjoy it. And that's it. That's all I have for y'all. Happy New Year. Enjoy your year and enjoy your reading. Happy reading. Bye.